Mike, how important of a role does a strong man play in a boy's life when he's trying to find himself?
Well, you have to think about what perception of a strong man. He could be a strong man in a criminal perspective, in the legal perspective. And that could be the strongest identity that he sees. And so he can go off in that level of crime as well. But it's all about, and when I say that, even these people in crime, they're great men. I won't say they're all good men, but they're great men. And so if we could really concentrate on doing the best we can from our perspective of being a good man and transform that into other children, other young boys, that will be a start.
Michael, you're seeing right now messages on YouTube go viral where it's grown men like Jordan Peterson talk about what it is to be a man, or even Andrew Tate's talking to young boys. Mm-hmm. There seems to be in every industry, there's a sect of that industry does very well. Like, hey, in books, young nonfiction is doing really well right now. Really? Youth nonfiction? Yes, kids want to know more. Oh, okay, interesting. In the denomination of religion, hey, the LDS church is growing at this pace right now. Really? Why? What are they doing? Hey, when it comes down to content being created right now, young boys want to learn from a man with experience. Maybe they didn't have a father figure growing up. Why do you think that content is resonating the way it is with young boys?
Because of the fact that, there's an effort to demean what a real man is today in life. I see it that way anyhow. And when people look up to a guy that presents himself like a man, then it's attractive to them. Look, one of the reasons, Patrick, I go into prisons, I talk to these young gangbangers, and they'll say to me, come on, Michael, you had the great cars, you had the women, you wore the right clothing. To them, that's what a man looks like. So they want the image of a man, a manhood. But, the problem is a lot of people today think that when you're telling a man how to be a man, that it's demeaning to a woman. They've made that a part of society now. Well, if you're telling this guy to be a man, that means he's going to demean women. And I said, no, a real man is going to benefit women. Women are going to benefit by that because he's going to treat her the right way. He's going to bring up his kids properly. He's going to, be in the community, do the right thing. That's what a man is. It's not, being a macho guy or anything like that. Of course, you got to defend yourself. A man protects his women, of course. But, there's just the idea of a man has been changed today. It really has. And that's what we want to teach guys. Oh, look, a man can be sensitive. A man can have emotion. There's nothing wrong with that. How many times, look, I went to with the most powerful guys you want to see. I see them crying at a funeral. They go to a show and they got tears in their eyes in an opera show. I've seen that. There's nothing wrong with that, showing emotion. And I think these young guys today are really looking for that.
Yeah.
And they look at somebody like Mike who, let me tell you something, the way he came up and to be where he is today, it's a miracle. It really is. Under the odds that he had to face in that way. And, mine is different. I didn't go through some of the things that he went. It was different for me. But, the fact that I'm here, this, Patrick, I should be dead or in prison a long time ago. It's just been very fortunate, So we want to use these experiences to try to help people. And that's what this is all about. And we're going to do it.
I fully agree with what Michael's saying, is that there's just such a need for leadership for young men these days. I guess my question is, it's not a zero-sum game. Like forever we've heard that it's the patriarchy, and this is basically has given rise to modern-day feminism, and then you see things like the future is female, where it's like, what is that? If the future is female, what does that mean for men, right? And then you see things like the feminism and the boss babe movement and everything with that. It's men and women can both win, right? I think women want a strong man in their life, and men want what's the famous phrase, behind every great man, there's a strong woman. So how can men and women win in today's society? What do you guys think?
Well, listen, that's going to be pretty difficult. Because when you watch television, you see it could be black people, it could be white people. It's confrontation between man and woman. That's all you see on television. That's what you see on Housewives show. That's just what you see. You see this on Kevin Samuels show. You see this on sometimes, what's the other guy? Andrew Tate. It's just confrontation. Confrontation sells. And we're not going to stop this confrontation. This is going to become an era so we can continue to make money off of people's pain.
So whether it's Republicans and Democrats, whether it's blacks and whites, whether it's men and women, it's just going to constantly be doubling down on this against each other.
If you want to see the future of a country, look at his advertisement. What does it advertise?
Damn. You know what that makes me think of, right?
So true.
About how we're the only country.
You just
so true.
sit there and you just made two profound comments in the last minute.
What about, how United States and I think New Zealand are the only countries that Big Pharma is allowed to advertise on? So when you see the opioid endemic that's going on right now, I think Mike Tyson makes up a great point. It's that if you want to see the future of a country, look at the advertising.
100%.
How many people are on
mixed
drugs?
families now. Look at the mixed family. Before, it was like taboo is to mix a black or Italian or black or Asian, Spanish. That was taboo, you think. But now it's promoting this is what it's going to be. Because you see the influx of different, I'm not going to... Immigrants coming in the country, and they're showing you this is what it's going to look at. And they're preparing us. They put it in the televisions, our movies, and that's what we're preparing for. Because people know, the society knows that runs the place. Americans, black, white, Asian, they don't take kindly to immigrants. We just don't. I don't know why. Because when the Irish was here, like in the 1800s, and when the Irish came, they were called real Americans, but when the Irish came from Ireland, they crushed them. They made them the enemy. How could you do that? That means if I came from Africa, they made these guys the enemy. So they could take advantage of them and rob them. So they made these guys, not to have any feelings. Somewhat like slaves, yeah. And that's human nature.
What other advertisements you see on TV that are shocking to you? That's a profound statement you said. If you want to see a future of a country, look at the advertising. What else do you see on TV?
Well, some things I'd rather not talk about.
Okay.
It's just interesting. It's just what it is, I guess.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.